live.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, I got a notification that I sent everything out from my auction. The person that's furthest away from me seems to have gotten their package kind of first.
Wow.
They're in like Ireland.
Wow. Ireland already received some shit.
It just happened that way. So
wow.
Congrats to them.
Because our government's finally working.
Well, it was UPS. So to get that first one. Okay, hold on. I'd like to start the streams off with the stupidest of questions. Hey, as a jazz fan, Rob, have you seen the movie Cologne 75, music drama film directed by Udo Fluck? I think you just made all this up, Ivan.
Fluck or Fluke?
You know, there's a movie that premiered. There was a festival recently. Cannes comes up in May. I think it was Berlin or something, or Venice. It's a dramatic film about Bill Evans. They don't have a distributor yet, but the reviews were really good. So I'm hoping that someone in the U.S. picks it up to distribute the film.
As I texted you boys, I saw the Elvis concert movie, Epic, last night, and it was fucking fantastic in IMAX. Loud, good, bold. The footage, it's a period of time, 1970, 72, but it actually tells with old footage the whole story, but not deep part of it. So you get reference.
I saw an interview with Baz Luhrmann, and he said when he was making Elvis, he had heard rumors about this footage that was shot,
and he found it in the Warner Brothers vaults.
He says it was in a vault was it in Tennessee?
Well, he found it in a vault. Yeah, he found it.
And he said they found like 60 reels of stuff.
Then
he said he one of the stuff that they found, it was just Elvis sitting there talking.
Yeah.
So they said, wow, we have enough stuff and it's pretty detailed. We'll just use Elvis to kind of narrate the film.
And it's fantastic. Now, there's 1970 footage of them rehearsing in Vegas for what would be the international series of show, International Hotel, the whole live thing. I mean, the residency he did.
That's
basically
the hotel he played at. It was
he did but 1970. And James Burton, the great guitarist, Pink Paisley guitar, is heavily featured. He doesn't say anything, but he's always looking at Elvis. He's the heart of the rhythm section. And part of the rhythm section before that was Ricky Nelson's band guitarist. Then he's on Graham Parsons' 2 albums on that. Then in 1975, he was in the Hot Band with Emmylou Harris as the guitarist. And on Grievous Angel, Parsons yells out Jim Burton and his Pink Paisley guitar. It's excellent. Now the sound is amped and edited, and there's some scenes. One feature, it goes on for maybe 10 minutes, is Poke Annie Sally, that song.
Poke Annie Salad.
That's exactly what I just said.
You said Sally. Do you smell burnt toast, Mazzy?
I just woke up. Okay, I haven't had a sip of coffee yet. Here we go. But what's great about it, they edit together and they sync together rehearsals in like one of the ballroom type things where the rehearsal space was at the hotel, dress rehearsals and final rehearsals of the same song that goes on seamlessly. Yes, there's probably AI fixes and
no. Baz Luhrmann said whatever.
Well, I don't mean AI. That's wrong.
Jackson, whatever Jackson did to it,
it might have been AI. More than.
Let me tell you,
I take that back. Wait, not AI, but the thing that they use on Get Back, where they can isolate instruments and stuff. It's amazing sounding.
Oh.
And even at the end, there's a little bit of a modern, on the closing credits, a modern mix that's been supplemented. It's really good. And, I tell you, this is probably the first time I ever saw this whole I think it's one of the best concert films I've ever seen. Definitely one in a top 10. And Elvis, you just can't not love Elvis Presley in this. He's charming. I mean, it's a positive angle of Elvis. You see, as they show some shots later, they don't tell you when things are shot because it's mixed up. But his face gets heavier as later things, obviously, when he's getting heavier and stuff. But it's so good. See it in a theater if you can. It won't be the same in your house unless you have a perfect room with an Atmos or whatever mix on it. I mean, the sound was loud, and it was excellent.
Sherry and I are going tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent.
That's my kind of one of my favorite Elvis periods.
It's like 90 minutes long, right?
Yeah,
early on before he got bloated.
Yeah, he was about to, and it's just it was better than I expected it to be. I'll put it that way. And I really enjoyed it.
Now, here's the problem with movies like that for me, and it's a flaw. Do they play a whole song, or do they put into the song?
Yeah, both. They do both. It depends. They play a whole song. There's 3 Beatles songs.
Elvis Before the Army is the best, but late Elvis.
What Beatles song?
He sings Yesterday. He sings Something. And then there's a medley with, one of his classic songs that he puts Get Back in. And then he does the Hoyt Axton song, Where I've Never Been to Spain, but I've never been to England, but I kind of like the Beatles.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, the best Elvis is Fat Elvis, and I'll tell you why. If you ever watch Fat Elvis sing and he takes a pause, you know what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
Food.
So the Elvis movie is great. But, they tell the story. There's footage of when he was starting out, all the important parts in his life. There's small segments. It's not a biopic or a documentary in the true sense, but they talk about when he first starts playing the rhythm and blues, and you hear his voiceover, those tapes he has of him. And then the thing when he goes into the army for 2 years and he comes out of the army.
Yes.
Pardon me?
Just go through the whole movie.
It doesn't matter. It's not like it's a plot point.
Yeah.
The worst part, I'm going to spoil this because it's the worst part of the whole movie. At the very end of the movie, there's like a poem for Elvis narrated. And I'm thinking, I know that voice at the very end. And
Who is it? Oh,
it's Bono.
Oh, come on.
It is.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's talk about
They didn't need that. They didn't need that.
Hey, Mazzy, can you tell
was
everyone?
Was there honey on those sandwiches or no?
Can you tell us what the hell's on? Mazzy, can you tell us who the killer is in Scream 7? Who Ghostface is?
I haven't seen it. But I swear to God, if you can go see it, I think, is there an IMAX in Kent? Because I think it's playing in Kent. Go see it. Go see the Elvis.
The problem with the exclusive IMAX movies is they only play like on 50 locations or something.
Yeah. But, I'm disappointed because I guess I've never been to the IMAX here down at Pacific Center or at Seattle Center. That's the big IMAX. In San Francisco at the Metreon.
Yeah, there's like 7. Technically, there are like 7 different types of IMAX.
But the big giant one
IMAX is the one that has a film projector that projects it in film. The dimensions are whatever the
name of the film is.
I gotta thank Eddie Perez for this Bucky shirt.
Hold on a second.
Thank you, Eddie.
It's called Epic, which is Elvis Presley in concert. Okay, that's the film. Epic, Elvis Presley in concert. Apparently, the CD came out last Friday. I've streamed it in my car, some of it. I haven't finished it. The vinyl doesn't come out till like March.
And the music is from the performances that in the film they found. Right?
Yeah. And some of them are augmented. I mean, it's so good.
Trevor, IMAX is a Canadian company. Their headquarters used to be in Brentwood here.
If you're a music fan, it's a great profile of a short time. But the rehearsal things are great when he's working with the band and the background singers.
There's one where he's like playing guitar.
Oh, he plays guitar. Yeah, he plays guitar. He plays guitar in a lot of it. But he's not the lead guitar player. And he has a big band. A lot of the criticism I had of that period. I saw him in '76 at the Cow Palace. The only time I saw him,
Hey.
and that was the only criticism. It's over the top.
Hey,
it's doing pretty well actually.
This makes no sense, Chance. You don't make a movie just for Elvis fans. You make a movie for people who go to the movies. That's what I know. It's hard to cross over music artists into movie stars with their fan base. Movie goers go to movies. Concert goers go to concerts.
Apparently, it's done.
I don't know who the fuck goes to Graceland.
For the type of movie it is, it's done pretty well. It's not like a top 5 box office thing. It did better than the McCartney documentary.
Let me see how much it's made so far.
Yeah, I mean, it was about, I don't know,
90 minutes, right?
It's 90 minutes.
Okay, box office for the last weekend.
Who cares if it's 18? I mean, it's just a good movie. I mean, if you're a music fan, it's a fucking great movie.
This is just the low box office is just based on the amount of locations because it's not playing. I don't even know if they're allowing it to be played in other types of IMAX.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about the box office.
I mean, I'm sorry. The movie will do better when it sells on.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying it's a good movie and it's well done, well edited. The performances, there's a whole gospel section of stuff, rock and gospel, R&B. The background singers
are any cameos, any famous people in it?
Yeah. Backstage, well, you see when he opens up the show, you see Sammy Davis Jr. and backstage Sammy Davis Jr. and Cary Grant come in and greet him after the opening show, I guess, or one of the shows. But it's just really good. Okay, you don't have to like Elvis is kind of one of the important people in rock and roll.
I'm sorry. Look, I welcome all types of fans here. Elvis fans.
You can't have the Beatles without Elvis. Obviously, Elvis took from R&B singers, and he talks about that. He talks about being from R&B and blues and gospel music and country music. But you can't argue that how important Elvis is for all music, for all rock and roll music. Pop.
I can argue it.
Well, you can argue it, but you'd be wrong. No, I always had my thing about, what John Lennon says, Elvis died when he went into the army. But I think this is a good portrayal of a period after that.
I'll tell you this. One of the best songs ever written was by Mojo Nixon. Elvis is everywhere.
Yeah.
And in the song, he says, Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is in everyone except one person. Do you know who that one person is, Mazzy?
Kid Rock?
No. Michael J. Fox.
Oh, okay. And, the thing about you can't have the Beatles without Buddy Holly. I would argue Buddy Holly opened them up to writing themselves but they were more initially influenced by Elvis Presley and then Buddy Holly and then Little Richard.
Okay, I have a good question for you, Mazzy. When Elvis came out and was a big star, obviously they put out acts that they thought were Elvis-like acts.
Right.
Who was the most successful Elvis copycat act?
Back in the day?
Is that Corcoran guy? Was he an Elvis ripoff guy?
Wayne Cochran?
No.
Eddie Cochran.
Eddie Cochran. Oh, Eddie. Well, first of all, Eddie Cochran is not, they put out, so he plays. He's a rock and roller.
I know. He's good. Summertime Blues,
He's
right?
Great. Eddie Cochran's great. I mean, they didn't put out Gene Vincent, all those artists.
Fabian,
and all those artists were touring the UK. Well, okay. Fabian is like the prefab kind of guy.
One of the a really good music movie is a movie called The Idol Maker by Taylor Hackford.
Oh yeah.
Where it was this fictionalized, I don't know who the real guy was, but he made these guys, and in the movie there's like two. But I kind of liken Fabian to like a teen. Well, I don't know.
He's like Frankie Avalon. He's a teen.
Yeah, Frankie Avalon and Bobby Darin and.
I still think Ricky Nelson's the real deal. He played, and his songs are, his records are
Good.
Hey,
He's good.
hey,
just
hey,
because he was
everyone.
on Ozzy and Harriet, and he was a kid. But Ricky Nelson records are great. The band in this movie was Ricky Nelson's band for the most part. I mean,
The
James
Canyon
Burton on guitar.
Rangers, Stone Canyon Rangers. Hey, I don't really support a lot of YouTube VC channels, but I believe on tonight's Surface Spins, the subject is, did Elvis kill his twin brother in the womb? And then Chance is going to start wearing red glasses like Sally Jesse Raphael.
Is that what you predict?
You
Is
know,
that part of? Let's get on the prediction market.
It's a fact.
more. It's
Harry.
funny. I don't know if this is the dude that commented about boomer shit. I'm a boomer. Of course, we're going to talk about boomer stuff. I talk about other stuff too. I think compared to a lot of people my age, I do talk about more music, more new music than a lot of people my age.
Hey, Vinyl Piper, I've seen Elvis too. Fantastic.
Elvis, I saw him in. Okay, what's the guy's name? Not Elvis. I went to a strip mall years ago, probably in the 90s, and there was this Filipino in LA, Filipino Elvis impersonator used to play at this place.
Has nothing to do with Elvis.
We played. He was an Elvis impersonator, Filipino Elvis impersonator.
I heard that guy's really good.
If you're a big consumer of like TikTok, occasionally you'll come across this 400-pound Elvis impersonator.
Yeah. I saw Elvis in the 80s back in Memphis, Tennessee, at a convention of the Association of Alternative Newspapers.
Yeah,
and he was great. And we went to Graceland, and I fell in love with Elvis.
Elvis takes. Yeah, I mean, he was so influenced by black music, R&B, and gospel music. I mean, he
grew up that. He was the real deal.
He acknowledged that.
When I was in college, it was Dred Zeppelin all the time. They toured like
Dred Zeppelin was fantastic.
Okay.
That guy had a record store up on Myrtle and
all right,
Montrose for a while, but he passed away. He did, sadly.
That guy did?
Yeah.
I'll make a video on the movie and that I want to listen to all the records. I mean,
how many Elvis records do you have, Mazzy?
Albums, I probably have a dozen. I have a bunch of CD boxes of the 50s, the 60s, the 70s CD collections. I'm not a complete.
There's one.
But Elvis, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a copy I sold to Vinyl Piper of the first Elvis record in mono. That thing sounded amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's why, unfortunately, unfortunately,
Blue Moon.
Intervention, who just did the Johnny Cash and the Carl Perkins, unfortunately, they can't do Elvis because the estate owes that stuff. But it would be great if Intervention could do that First Son album. That would be something.
Well, don't people say there's a twofer from the 80s of his son stuff that people say sounds great?
I have that.
Also, here's my Elvis story. Back when everyone started getting on social media and kind of Facebook started and people were reconnecting with friends and stuff, I found a group of a camp I went to. I went to summer camp on the Chesapeake Bay to a Jewish summer camp called Camp Kaufman. So when people got together, the scuttlebutt was, did you hear about, I don't remember his name, but did you hear about Ricky? And Ricky, what about Ricky? He quit everything, moved to Vegas to become an Elvis impersonator.
You know, the movies Elvis did before the Army, like Crawfish and Jailhouse Rock, were excellent. But they have clips of the later stuff, and you hear his voice saying he made a lot of bad movies. He'd get the script to be the same movie with a different name, a different love interest, and he got tired. And he seems like he was kind of embarrassed doing all those movies, and so that's why he wanted to go back and play. And that's how this
also had to pay off. He had to pay off the Colonel's debt, didn't he?
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah.
What was the
Creole was great.
In relation to this movie, Mazzy? What was the comeback special?
They didn't really get into that's a 68 comeback special.
Sure.
They did talk. Yeah, they did mention it. There's a short mention of that because they do the whole chronology, but they go back and forth to it. But the essence are the rehearsals and the shows at the International, and it's done really well with voiceover of his own voiceover. I tell you, the way they edited, the way they merged rehearsal versions of the songs with live versions of the songs is excellent.
Okay, this stream is becoming about me correcting Chance. Colonel on the MASH, both colonels. Frank Byrne, is it not Frank Byrne? What was the colonels?
Henry Morgan
and McLean Stevenson.
Henry Morgan.
Those are the two colonels.
Yeah. I tell you, you see how hard he worked and rehearsed. And you didn't see the very fat Elvis in the last couple of years. You see his face, and some of it, his face is fatter, and he's sweating because he's busting his ass. Then you see him backstage and in the hotel room with his I don't want to say his goons, but
here's a question.
Yeah,
how long was Elvis's show? I know in Vegas, the shows are made to be short.
Yeah,
when Broadway shows started going to Vegas, they would shorten them.
Yeah,
like by
I bet you an hour and a half.
Anyone here who saw Elvis in concert? Is there anyone? How long was his show?
Well, I saw him at the Cow Palace in '76, but I don't remember. Was his show? I don't remember. We could look it up and see the song. I think he did about 20,
how many encores?
I think he did about 20 songs per show, give or take. Yeah, my parents saw him in Vegas because they used to go to Vegas, and they're not even rock and roll people.
Stephen Schnee. This is for Stephen Schnee. Anyone else who answers, I'll ignore you. Where did the phrase "Elvis has left the building" come from?
Probably those shows. Because and there's segments of people throwing bras up on the stage and kissing him. He worked his ass off at this.
He only played an hour. I want my money back. I didn't even.
The Beatles played 24 minutes or 23 minutes.
Beatles were not a touring band.
Except
Elvis toured.
Well, they literally toured the world for 3 years.
Yes, but they did. Then they stopped.
I don't know.
They did 3 years. And then, of course, the Hamburg, they played 8 hours a day and night. So they got their chops.
The Beatles, yeah.
No,
the rhythm section.
Not giving me an answer.
Elvis's rhythm section is astounding, and then of course you have the layers of the strings and the horns, the gospel singers, the background singers.
Oh no, that's been a great show, except for he fell apart.
He does his stick.
Can you confirm this, Jim?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. Zappa liked more rootsy kind of rock than Elvis, I think. Oh, and he liked doo-wop. Zappa liked doo-wop.
There you go, Schnee. That's what we thought. Thanks, Schnee.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Do you know, Schnee?
Well, he just literally said probably these shows at the International. They probably mentioned Elvis.
The announcer saying, "All right, people, go. It's time to turn over."
Yeah, he would do 2 shows. Sometimes he would do 2 shows. Sometimes 3 shows a day.
I don't know if this is related, but each time Jim leaves the bathroom, he's tried to train his chickens to go to say Jim has left the bathroom.
27 songs. Thank you, Gabby. Go see the film, Gabby, if it's playing in an IMAX near you. Can I show something?
Oh, no. Hey, everyone. Take out your bingo cards because I feel like Erykah Badu's going.
No, you're not going to get this. And I just got this yesterday in the mail. No note, but I realized I think I know who sent it to me. I know a guy who's one of the main publishers at Image out of Portland, Oregon. They're the graphic novels. They used to do The Walking Dead and all those graphic novels and that kind of stuff. Not Seth MacFarlane. The other MacFarlane who does the action figures, that kind of stuff.
The comic book.
Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Well, out of the blue, but I think I need to reach out to the guy I know. He's a record collector, and I'm sure Oregon sent me this. This is Altamont, okay? It's a graphic novel. I think it was done in France, but a graphic novel about the Altamont concert, the day of Altamont. The whole thing, and I can't wait to read this because I wonder if they depicted me in it.
Now that takes place during the concert.
I guess it's the whole day. I think, it's a fictionalized graphic novel, so they probably get some characters from the whole, going to the concert. Like they have these hippies at the beginning getting ready, and then going to the concert and everything from their point of
Do
view.
they show the stabbing in the comic book?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can see, I haven't read it yet, but you can see there's a fight going on. So it's the whole day. There's all the different, the different acts. Let's see. Like some guy's dreaming of Jimi Hendrix, but Jimi Hendrix didn't play, obviously. Oh, there's a fold out.
Very nice.
Which is kind of cool.
Is that where you were sitting?
I'm sorry.
Were you right next to those guys?
No, we were way back, and I went with the bad high school element because my friends didn't want to go,
right.
And the stoners. Okay, there's Grace Slick, right?
You went with me and my friends.
Yeah, I went with the stoners that were going, and I was 15 years old, so I had to we left early, and I don't remember exactly what I told my parents I was going.
You down some shrooms?
No, I didn't do drugs. I wasn't doing drugs yet.
Oh, come on, man.
I wasn't.
Well, you could have never hung with us.
So anyway, I think this is kind of cool. I like graphic novels. Graphic novels, it's hard to read them all the way through, but I will read this because it's really interesting.
Just put it next to your toilet.
Yeah, exactly. It's that. Anyway, Altamont,
Nice.
I think
it's nice. Who published it?
December. They just sent it to me, December 1969, and this came out just a month and a half ago.
Who published it?
Disclose that was sent to you.
It's Image.
Yeah,
they're the ones that do the graphic, not like the Walking Dead series. Those were graphic novels. Yeah,
I think Image. People correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Image was created when a bunch of Marvel artists were pissed off.
Yes,
and they left.
That's true.
And they formed that record. I mean, the comic book company.
Fluffy Mice.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong that it was Todd McFarlane and what was the other guy who created Deadpool?
Yeah. In fact, he's listed in here. Yeah. It's Eric's Todd McFarlane and
what's the guy's name? People, I see him when
Robert Kirkman is the guy that created The Walking Dead.
No, the guy who created Deadpool. He was one of those artists.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the superhero he had.
The publisher is a friend of mine, Eric, but I haven't talked to him in about a year. But he used to come up for the Seattle Record Show. He used to live in Portland, and now he lives on the Kitsap Peninsula, up not Gig Harbor, but one of the areas there, kind of near Michelle. So he's up here. I don't think they have an office in the same sense anymore. Everybody works out of their own places.
Hey, Tim, I don't see that. So Tim had
mentioned illustrated by the artist of The Walking Dead in a vintage style borrowed from pop art of the 1960s. Okay, so it's the same artist who does The Walking Dead. Jerry and her friends hop in their Volkswagen van on a road trip from Los Angeles, the smell of marijuana trailing behind them, a promise of good music and good times ahead of them. Shortly after their arrival, tensions rise. A fight breaks out in the crowd. Pandemonium ensues. Okay, I know the rest of the story. So,
how many bands played that show?
Okay, and I saw them all. The only one that didn't play, it was scheduled. The Grateful Dead refused to play. Okay, the Flying Burrito Brothers, Santana, Jefferson Airplane, the Rolling Stones, and then it was supposed to be the Dead. So I think 5. I don't think I'm missing someone, but I did see them. And after the show, I didn't know this at the time, the Stones went in a helicopter and got out of there really fast. Graham Parsons goes with them and basically quits the Burritos, doesn't say anything, and just leaves the Burritos, the rest of the band. Kind of fucked up. He wanted to hang out with the Stones and Keith.
Gabby, thanks for asking. I'm fine. I just have residual snot, but I'm not sick anymore.
Is there a new electric recording company overpriced?
Yeah. I'm going to show it now because Tim
$500 record.
I didn't get my email notification because I never.
I don't think I'm on the list.
So
why
it's
bother? God, who would pay? I'm sorry.
Patchouli, baby.
Here's my rant. Go buy, and I'm not big on supporting Chad, but go buy Chad's 33. I think you can still get it.
Isn't there a craft to that? OJC? No.
There is an OJC, but the best one you could probably get right now.
How much is that? ERC?
It's £395, so it's
$400.
Like $500.
$500. Okay, I've heard 3 ERCs. Okay, I've heard the Coltrane one. What's the name of it? And it's not any better than any other version I've heard. Maybe a little better than one or two, but it's good.
I've heard
Love Forever Change.
I've never heard one person say any of the electric recording. And supposedly what they do is they get the mono tape and they don't futz with it and they just put it on the vinyl. I've never heard one person say this is the definitive version of this album.
I've heard the Love Forever Changes. It's good.
I thought Patrick said it's good.
It's good, but it's not as good as the Rhino. Even I don't have the MoFi anymore.
Well, here's what I understand. And Patrick, if you're listening, chime in. The Rhino stereo one that they did sounds fantastic. In fact, here's my point. I got the box, the Love box for Record Store Day, Black Friday. And from what I understand, it's Bellman redoing them from any other time he did them. These are the best versions I've heard.
Yeah, it's good.
The Forever Changes in that box.
And the first Electra
is better than the Bellman reissue that you can get.
I agree.
The one thing I heard Patrick say is Rhino did put out a mono version that he didn't care for.
Yeah, I have that too. But I also, but I was gifted. Remember Marcella from the Amsterdamian country, the Netherlands, gifted me a copy of the first Doors album ERC did, and it's not good. It's not anywhere near as good as.
Wasn't the complaint, Mazzy? Wasn't the complaint about that is that there was a mistake in the tape?
Yes. Anyway, but for a $400 or $500 record or more now, it's not a good record. I mean, both the double 45 by Chad and Kevin Gray's from the box.
Okay,
the first door is much better.
I'm not known so much for my people going. There are people go. You were right, Rob. That was excellent. I bought it. I've had originals of the stereo. I have one over here that's in boxes for auction. I've had the original. I've had the other Chris Bellman. This one from the box is the best one I've ever heard. It really is very good. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. I don't know if you can get this box anymore, and I don't know if they're reissuing that version as part of that, but that's my 2 cents.
So wow, that's interesting.
But
that sounds like a weird one.
Patrick,
I'm sorry.
That's PB Thal's favorite album, Love Forever Changes.
Okay.
So he has multiple copies of it. So
I think now I'm going to say this, and you could quote me on it. But ERC people who buy all the ERC records, the $400, $500 or whatever records, they're a cult.
Ooh, shit.
Are any of you here? Do you know? Now,
can I say something? People who are completists and buy all the Linda Ronstadt records are a cult.
I like Linda Ronstadt. I have all the.
I know you're the one who got me to buy like her whole fucking collection.
They're good. They're good records.
Not all of them. They're not all essential.
No, they're not all essential, but they're good records.
Hold on right here. I'm talking to this guy on screen right now. What Frank Zappa album do you not have?
Who, me? Oh. Well, I have all the vinyl. There's some CDs.
All
I
right,
don't
you're
have.
part of a cult.
No, I'm my own cult because I don't want to be a member of a Zappa collector's cult that would have me as a member.
It's about the music, stupid.
I complete Zappa. I'm a completist.
Yeah.
But that's different because everything he does is good.
I know you won't tell many people about this, Jim, but every day at 3 o'clock, he has to stop what he's doing and praise to Frank Zappa.
Every day. 20 minutes.
Hey,
time.
Angelo Kelly, I don't know what drugs you put in the box you sent to me, but I haven't gotten it yet. I assume everyone at Customs has listened to your album 3 times. You know what comes today,
anymore? Volume 3? I don't. You mean volume?
Can I show a record?
Is it the Eric? Everyone, take out your bingo cards. This could be Erykah Badu.
I borrowed a record. I borrowed a record from Kimbo. He loaned me 2 copies because I don't think I've ever heard this record. And because of a conversation I had with Angelo, I need to listen to this record.
Why do you need to listen to that?
You'll see at some point. Run Out Variant 2. Anyway, so I've never heard this record.
Hey,
Pearl Jam record.
Is that an album about every member of Pearl Jam dating the goat on the cover? Hey,
I was hoping it was them covering Ram by Paul McCartney.
Okay, I'm going to tell people this. I think I used to talk about this. One of the best albums you can buy for very cheap is the soundtrack to the movie FM. It's a 2 LP. Make sure you have the one that has a poster in it. That's one of the best sounding records. And there's a live Lindsay Ronstadt singing on there. That's really good.
Here's what you need to get. They're hard to get now. I don't know if they're hard to get, but I don't know if they're expensive. What was Steve Hoffman's label that he did those audiophile records?
Whatever that DCC or something.
Whatever audio
recording. No, audio I know what you're talking about. Yeah. All the albums go for like $200.
Yeah, he did volume 1 and 2 of Linda Ronstadt's greatest hits, and I got both of them from the Coleman collection, and they're fucking excellent. They're greatest hits, so you have to, I guess, assemble them from the tapes. He did those from the tapes, and they're excellent. So find those 2. It's the red and the blue one of the Linda Ronstadt's greatest hits. DCC Audio Fidelity. Thank you, Ricks. God, I said thank you to Ricks. Wow, what a acoustic, whatever it is. Anyway, those are excellent. Those 2 Linda Ronstadt greatest hits. I had them when I kept those because I didn't have those records anymore when I got the Coleman collection, and I didn't realize what they were right away because when Coleman's collection came in, when Coffee Dave and I bought it, 5,000 plus records. We each kept about 700 records, and I kept certain originals, all the original like Pie, Kinks, and Who, and Stones, Decca stuff, mono. But there's certain records like that because I love Linda Ronstadt. I tell you, Heart Like a Wheel and Don't Cry Now are my 2 favorites. It was a weird thing that because she was on Capitol, remember those early albums? Elliot Mazer produced one of them long time. And then she got signed to Asylum, but she put out Don't Cry Now in Asylum and owed one more for Capitol. So she does the Capitol record, which is Heart Like a Wheel. That becomes massive for her first massive record. And Capitol doesn't have her after that. And then she went back and did those Peter Asher. Well, Peter Asher did all of them anyway. The Asylum stuff.
What was the record, her techno pop record?
Oh, yeah. It was more kind of the new wavy one, kind of new wavy.
Yeah. People.
Is it Mad Love? Is it Mad Love? It might be Mad Love. No, there's a couple of them she did around that time. But she argued with her record company. They didn't want her to do the Spanish record. And it became one of her biggest selling worldwide records of all time.
I found a sealed copy of that at a thrift store.
It's excellent. But they
reissued it in like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
But I remember.
And then they didn't want her to do. She did a trilogy of records with Nelson Riddle, standards, and those
were hits.
Oh yeah.
Weren't those hits?
They were, but record companies do more of the same shit.
Zappa used to reference Linda Ronstadt all the time. He, if you were auditioning for Frank and you fucked up the audition, he would say, I hear Linda Ronstadt's looking for a guitar player.
Yeah. Well, there's an interview, a couple interviews on Heart Like a Wheel. What's the big hit? When Will I Be Loved, right? There's that great Andrew Gold solo. When they tried it, Peter Asher and Andrew Gold, and he did that thing. Linda didn't like it at first, and she said she was wrong years or after during the interview later. That made that song too. That guitar solo in When Will I Be Loved soars, and then it goes right into Willin', the Little Feat song, the Lowell George song. She has a beautiful version of Willin'.
Well, but she became famous from the Stone Ponies or whatever, right?
Well, that was a one-hit kind of thing, Yeah, a different drum. That was the Mike Nesmith song, but that wasn't huge.
What was the other?
That was a big single, but it wasn't a big album. And
they have another song.
Well, they had a whole album, but that album was reissued once she got famous. Yeah, Michael Nesmith. Yeah, different drum.
I have the one where she's singing in Spanish.
Coleman became friends with Linda, and they used to go to movies together. Coleman would go to her house and watch movies when she was sick. And she has what, MS? Is it MS? Yeah. So Coleman was good friends with Linda in the last probably 5 years of Coleman's life.
Huh.
She lived up in Northern California?
Lives in San Francisco.
Hey, everyone, can you please go buy Angelo Kelly's new single? I Need New Shoes. Thank you.
Is that available? Can we link that? Because I know my copy's never coming.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be with mine. But Jim, the people at Customs are really jamming out to it.
Coleman, how did Coleman meet Linda? One of our mutual friends, I won't get into names because it doesn't matter. One of our mutual friends is a teacher at a private high school in San Francisco, and one of his students was Linda's. Linda has 2 adopted kids. Her son was one of our mutual friend's students, and I don't know exactly how, but I think Coleman came along. They were doing something at the museum, and Coleman came along because obviously when you go out with Linda, she needs help, and she has help from friends, but our friend and Coleman would help her out in and out. They'd go to movies together. They'd go to museums together and things, and they talk about music and stuff, yeah. So they just became friends, especially Coleman and Linda. I mean, totally platonic, totally that. In fact, they went to a show of J.D. Souther's when J.D. Souther did a small cabaret show, a cabaret club. I think it was the Hotel Nico. There was a club there. Parkinson's, that's what it is. She has a form of Parkinson's. J.D. Souther came over and talked to them both. So I think they just became friends. And then Coleman got really sick. Coleman was a great guy,
Okay, this is some lyrics from his song, I Need New Shoes. I think the tune goes like this. Sending packages to the States has become more expensive and shit sometimes doesn't even get there.
To me, Beach Boys Love You is a piece of fucking shit. Is that the one? Or is it 15 Big Ones? One of those two.
Tell us how you really feel about Kokomo, Mazzy.
Well, that's later. I
like Kokomo, by the way.
Well, Kokomo is sort of one of those cliche things. If I'm going to go that direction, I'll listen to a Jimmy Buffett song. And I like Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. Love Beach Boys Love You.
I get triggered. Jimmy Buffett triggers me. It reminds me of the time I went out to buy
all my fraternity brothers were parrot heads.
Someone tell me, I don't remember.
Let's Have Sex and Screw.
Off the top of my head, was 15 Big Ones 1973, because I think 15 Big Ones was the first Beach Boy album that came out when I worked in a record store. So my guess would be 73. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. I remember we played that in the song, and I fucking hated that cover of rock and roll music. It sounds like they're all on Prozac recording that version of it.
Okay, who knows Stephen Schnee?
76?
What's the story behind Barbara Ann? What's the story behind Barbara Ann?
Well, what? Okay.
Went to a dance looking
Yeah, but
for romance.
it's Jan and Dean and the Beach Boys, right?
Okay. Then Beach Boy. Hold on. Then is it is Love You 73 then? I'll look it up. Because I remember when I first worked in a record store, Beach Boy came out and I hated it.
Hey, Bill Cobble, come Sunday, it'll be all right.
Well, Holland. Okay, but no. Okay, I'm wrong then. Okay. 76 and 77, Big Ones and Love You. I love Holland. I love Surf's Up too. I love those records. Yeah,
hey,
I don't know my dates with Beach Boy records.
And this is the great time to thanks for doing what we texted about, Rev. Me and Rev are doing a Trash the Beach Boys podcast. It'll be every Thursday at 3 a.m. Pacific time.
No more crooning? That sucks. Okay, Beetle Babe says you got it wrong, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know the order of Beach Boy records.
No, I'm not.
But I love Holland and Surf's Up. I think those.
But isn't Barbara Ann's on? Is Barbara Ann's on Beach Boy albums?
Yeah,
Barbara Ann triggers me as well. That's
all right, Beetle Babe. I'm putting my foot down. Barbara Ann is on Beach Boys record.
Yes, that's what she says.
But it's Jan and Dean on it with the Beach Boys.
No, she says they did it after. They covered it after the Beach Boys.
But I thought they did it together.
I don't know.
Like the high part in Barbara Ann is Dean. It's not any of the Beach Boys.
Thank you. Yeah, 76, 77 were those records. I by then I just thought they were terrible records. I mean, punk starts and the Beach Boys put out those two terrible records.
What was the theory with the Beach Boys and then bringing in other people? The South African dude.
That's Blondie, the only time
Blondie, whatever his name was.
Blondie Chapman and the guy from the Ruddles.
Yeah.
That's the only time I saw them. I saw them at
how long were they part of the Beach Boys for?
I don't know, 3 years. I don't know, but that live Beach Boys album with them is excellent. And that's 73, 74, 72. I saw them at Winterland. That's the only time I saw the Beach Boys with Blondie Chapman and Ricky Fattar.
What year did the guy drown in Marina Del Rey?
Ricky Fattar was Stig O'Hara.
And were you a part of it, Jim?
I'm triggered by Buffett. Let's go back to Buffett. I've been to a Buffett concert. It was great. Similar to a Dead Nuts, except for less weed and
hey, can everyone applaud Bill Kay's ability to use the internet? Thank you, Bill Kay.
Thank you. Endless Summer, which I don't like the cover, but that double album is an excellent sounding Beach Boys song.
I've heard through my journey of the VC.
Yes.
I have that. People often say
it's an excellent comp.
You know, actually, hey Rev, when we do our podcast, there are Beach Boys albums specific versions that people say are outstanding sounding records, right?
I do have all of Chad's Beach Boy records, mono and stereo.
Those are some of them, right? The mono or the stereo, Mazzy?
I have both, and they're excellent.
Which sounds better?
It depends. I act like stereo, but I understand why mono, because the whole thing with the Beach Boys and mono. I tell you, the best sounding album is Surf's Up, or not Surf's Up, Surfer Girl. In My Room and Surfer Girl.
Hey, Herc, can you give us a list of the top 10 artists that sound like they've been kicked in the balls when they sing?
So, Lucky Jackson, did you just spend like $10,000 on tickets?
What did he? They're all three touring? I can't imagine. Like, I've heard Paul Simon recently. Other than him telling stories, he can barely sing anymore, right?
No, he has a good voice still. No, he didn't lose his voice. McCartney has the weakest of the three voices now. But his band is so good, and he's good. But Bruce is great. I'm not going to see Bruce.
How much are tickets to see Bruce?
It depends.
Bruce,
300 to 3,000.
Here,
you gotta love
I
Bruce.
would. First of all, I've seen him once, and that's fine. He's awesome in concert.
Never
But
seen him.
but really, I'm not going to any concert at a stadium. They're horrible.
I'm not either anymore.
You know what going to a concert at a stadium is about? It's not about the band performing, because usually the sound is horrible and they're so far away. It's about being interrupted by people getting up to pee or get food, and then occasionally someone screaming, and hopefully, if you're lucky, a woman will flash somebody.
I actually don't drive much beyond Costco anymore, but I would love to go.
That's how much the tickets are? Did you buy tickets to see all the shows you want to, Harry? You have to mortgage your liver.
Let's see.
Is he playing arena shows on
$750 for 2 tickets, Harry? That's not bad considering these days. It's still a lot, but it's not, if you paid 3.
Okay, I remember. So here's when I got to see the Stones the last time. They did 20-something shows at the Staples Center here in LA.
Right.
And it was such a miscalculation that they ended up not selling a lot of tickets. And tickets went up for $25 each, and I snapped them up, and I had awesome seats.
Yeah, arenas are better.
That was when the concert that they rehearsed here in North Hollywood, and then they went down and started in San Diego. That's when they took the shot, when Keith took the shot reading Record Collector News on his bus.
Hey, oftentimes, Frank, it's not a spectacle. It's like a big dump. They're horrible.
I saw the Stones at the Coliseum every fucking year in the early 80s, and it was great.
Actually,
they know how to do a stadium show.
Okay, I take it back. I saw one stadium show that was excellent. Can you guess what stadium show that was? It was
Dodger
here in LA.
Stadium.
It was here in LA at the Coliseum.
Who? I saw Nelson Mandela at the Coliseum.
Okay, congratulations.
Go on.
It was Roger Waters doing The Wall. That was awesome. Because you know what they did? They put shit connecting the top of the stadium, and there was shit running across it.
So they really had a show.
They really had a good show. The Roger Waters doing The Wall, that I think he toured it like 2 or 3 times since I saw it. And it might have been when
Prince opened for the Stones at the Coliseum. I saw a lot of fucking great shows there.
Well, I just showed my my ticket, George Harrison, 1974, and that was expensive. It was $9.50.
And Nicole, a candy bar was a nickel.
I saw the Stones the first time I saw them was in 72. I probably paid $6.50.
Well, I have a picture of my ticket at Winterland. The Stones 72 was $5.50. It was probably 50 cents service charge, maybe, if that.
I have a memory of that being the night I took more drugs than I ever took in my entire fucking life.
Did Stevie Wonder open for the whole tour? Do you open for that?
He opened for our show too.
Yeah.
I got all upset because I was like, there's no way the Stones are going to be better than Stevie Wonder just was.
They were, though. Well, they were as good.
They were. They blew the fucking.
Remember, wasn't this like right when Talking Book was starting to get big?
I saw Pink Floyd 73 right before whatchamacallit, Echoes came out, in between Adam Hart Mother and whatchamacallit.
Oh, that's when I saw him I saw him 5 months before Dark Side.
No, I saw him before. What came out before Dark Side?
Metal? No, Obscured by Clouds.
I saw him a few months before Metal came out.
Well, I saw him Obscured by Clouds, and that was 5 months before Dark Side, and they played the entire Dark Side.
No, this was before Metal came out, and they played the whole Metal. So this is way before Dark Side.
You always only talk about Soto Stereo.
So
Okay,
I like that. I like that
Cesar.
comp.
can I tell you where I
I
sat?
don't know who Soda Stereo is, Cesar.
So 10 of us went to the Santa Monica Civic to go see Pink Floyd, and we didn't think anyone was into Pink Floyd, and we got there and it was sold out.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to scalp tickets, and we're walking around. I'm walking around, and an usher comes from outside and he goes, anyone need tickets? And I go, yeah, but I need 10. He counts off 10 tickets. I give him $65. We sat front row center, right in the front, very first row. Roger Waters would take cymbal stands off the drums, set them up on the edge of the stage, wail on them. The cymbals would fall over on us, and we would put them back up on the stage, and he would wail on them more.
Oh, I thought this.
We became part of the show.
I thought this was the Wall concert, but that's Billy Joel at Dodger Stadium.
Two different things.
Well, I'm
Billy
looking
Joel.
for it because it's.
I never
somewhere.
saw Billy Joel live. I saw
That was a good show, by the way.
Yeah, front row
Floyd,
center.
I saw the Obscured by Clouds. I saw Wish You Were Here. I saw Animals, and that was it. Those 3 times.
I'm trying to find the pictures of me seeing Roger Waters do the Wall.
When we went and saw,
Is there a Soto Mono, Cesar?
This is New Order in Vegas.
we the 10 of us promised each other that we would not take LSD for the Pink Floyd show because we thought you wouldn't be able to handle it. I wasn't even driving yet. I can't
believe all you people and in the peanut gallery didn't start bitching today about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame pre-nominees. No Jethro Tull. My God, my head's going to explode.
That was Elton John in Vegas.
I think one of the best possible choices is the New Order Joy Division combo. I don't know if they'll get in.
Hey, Mazzy.
Yes. I don't really care, but I'm just it's good to
Mazzy, what's this right here?
How can I see it? Is that I don't know what that is.
It's the worst show I've ever saw in Vegas.
Oh, Love?
Yeah.
I like Love.
Horrible.
I love Love. I still think Pink Floyd has a better catalog than Radiohead, Rev. But I love Radiohead.
I do too.
The Replacements at the Palladium.
Is that one of their drunk nights or one of the good nights?
No, it was their drunk nights. They were horrible.
Yeah.
Let me make me smile. I'm still trying to find this.
I just love to hear every single year, the bitching about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not a supporter necessarily. I'm not a supporter, but it's just like, who cares?
That's the Bengals with Mike Mills. These were charity shows, and they were doing the music of Big Star. Those were good shows.
Jethro Tull made great records until they put out a record called Passion Play, as far as I'm concerned.
Same here. I saw the first 2 shows. I saw Aqualung and Thick as a Brick. Those
saw
were
them.
Fantastic.
I did see them in '75, though. They opened up for Electric Light Orchestra.
Huh. When I saw them do Thick as a Brick, my brother was passing the joint and it had a very long cherry and it fell on this girl's hair.
There's your friend, Jim.
Keith, he ain't playing no more. It's over, babes.
Yeah, I did bring up the Hall of Fame because that's stuff to talk about, and it's on people's minds right now. Some people's minds.
don't know any of the who's nominated.
Oh,
Here, I'll bring up the list.
Well, these aren't the final this is like the teaser. They're submitted for your approval, and then
really? Okay, so they're working it.
Well, that's
these are the list that people are choosing from. Is this 2026 or 27?
20. Well, 20.
Okay, let's get into this. Let me share the screen.
They're finalists. Thank you, Concert Buddy. Are you going to talk about this tonight, Concert Buddy?
Well, we have an exclusive.
It's a diverse list.
Here, there's your favorite movie. I'm just trying to. Okay.
I was upset. No Erykah Badu.
Okay.
That's it. Take a shot.
Phil Collins.
Oh.
Mariah Carey. Lauryn Hill, who's only put out like 2 albums. In Excess, I saw live. They were good. Iron Maiden, Luther Vandross, and Shakira.
I think Shakira is the one that should not be on that list out of those.
Melissa Etheridge, Jeff Buckley.
Jeff Buckley. What about Tim Buckley? Should be first. I'm sorry.
Pink, who was at that show with Billy Joel.
Pink, really? Wow.
Yeah, front and center metal.
New Edition, Sade.
Sade's good, and Wu-Tang is good.
One guy from the Wu-Tang Clan just died, I think.
Oasis.
Joy Division, New Order.
So we got 3 representations from Manchester.
Billy Idol.
I think New Order or Joy Division are a great selection, are a great combo.
I think I'm going to say out of this first batch here, I'm going with actually these 2. I believe Iron Maiden, who's still around performing, but whatever version, and Luther Vandross. I believe
Luther Vandross, definitely, yeah. And I hate when people say, "Well, they're not rock and roll; they're soul." Well, R&B and soul, and I don't. The problem with Wings, Harry, Wings never was signed to a label. It was always Paul McCartney, and he put the name Wings, so they weren't really a band.
Hey, I've seen Iron Maiden in concert. Everyone, I have.
Hey, I think Shakira is hot, and I like Shakira. I don't think.
Okay, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help everyone with Shakira. Okay, I'm helping you. I was first exposed to Shakira.
I like Shakira.
Not in a way that I hope. She did an MTV Unplugged for MTV South America or whatever, and they reissued that album. I tell you, go on YouTube and watch the Shakira Unplugged, what she's doing all in Spanish.
Yeah,
she's not really singing English. That was it was before she broke in the U.S.
I think she's great. I just think,
and that's when people were sort of touting her as where is she Colombian, or is she whatever she is? They were touting her as like a version of Madonna. I'm telling you, that Shakira Unplugged is one of the best things I've ever seen. So based on that alone, it would probably change most people's opinion of her. Shakira Unplugged. Go watch that. It is very good.
I got 4 words for you. Bungle in the jungle.
Exactly.
Are they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, that's why people are pissed they didn't get nominated again.
Who, Tull?
Tull.
Okay, thank you. She's
Colombian. I think Tull deserves to get in. Yeah, more than some of these people.
I'm going to go find that Shakira.
I mean, Jeff Buckley, I'm sorry. Jeff Buckley has one great album, then he has sort of another live thing. Tim Buckley made better records. I'm sorry. If you're going to go with a Buckley.
My favorite induction into the Hall of Fame was, oh shit. When they put,
this is Tim actually having a senior moment and
about Ry Cooder. No Ry Cooder.
All right. I just shared a link of the Shakira Unplugged on YouTube. Go watch it. It's really good. Angelo Kelly's ERC record has yet to be recorded, everyone.
This is good. Bring up Arnaldo's. That's
what?
Yeah. Where is it? Shakira's Oral Fixation albums produced by Rick Rubin are great. I haven't heard those records. I'd like to hear those records.
The best album she did is the Unplugged. I'm sorry, hands down.
Okay. Well, have you heard those records?
I mean, if they had hit songs on them.
Have you heard them? So you don't know. You're saying the best based on not hearing certain albums, Rob.
No one. Okay, Mazzy, let me give you a secret. No one's coming to me for my Shakira recommendation.
Okay, Harry, my friend my late friend Vernon was always in the NRBQ. We always raved about NRBQ. And we went to Slim's to see NRBQ. And they were great, but they're basically a bar band.
Yeah.
A glorified bar band.
But they are a cult band too, Mazzy.
Yeah. I mean, they're very popular.
They're better live.
They're great live. They're great live, but they're a fucking bar band live.
So if you want to see a great induction, try to find Randy Newman's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he performs a song called, I think it's called I'm Dead, But I Don't Know It. And it's fantastic. Look for it, folks.
Trevor, context. The best show you ever saw in 1989.
That's when
of who?
Dylan and whatchamacallit?
The
Dylan
Dead?
No. You know.
The Dylan and the Dead album is probably the worst album by either artist. The live album.
They were pretty bad together. No, Dylan and Pearl Jam, wasn't that?
Cesar, what was your comment about?
NRBQ, he says.
Cesar was?
No, that's a different one. I'm trying to read different things at different times.
I didn't see your last comment, Cesar. I was busy running this show. I'm just saying. First of all, Shakira was hot. I watched it. She was good looking. Okay, what's this? Yeah, she was rocking hard. That's why I put up the link. Go watch it. You'll be mesmerized by her.
Mesmerized.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm reading this to the music of I was working in a movie in Cleveland last year for about 6 months. Ended up going to the Hall of Fame 3 or 4 times while I was there. Ding, 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 ding.
Don't you want me, baby?
Hey, that Sunrod documentary, have you watched it yet, Mazzy? It was good.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yes.
I have not watched it. For those of you who are just joining us, I saw the Elvis doc live show.
Oh, no. Hey, everyone. This is the new Erykah Badu.
No, but not everyone joined in the first hour. Go see that in IMAX if you can while it's in IMAX. It's amazing. Baz Luhrmann.
Okay. You know what the most complaints I get about this stream, Mazzy, is? Tell me what you think the big complaints
Mazzy?
No. The complaints are people, why don't you do this later in the day? And you know what I say? The stream doesn't get taken down. You can watch it later in the day.
People want to interact. It's kind of funny because so far I've been doing my streams at 5 o'clock on Saturday, which is probably not a good time. I want to change that. But you can't get the foreigners, the Brits.
A guy with a mask came up to me recently and said that he saw me from Rob's show. And then he
Who came up to you?
Some guy wearing a mask and scared the fuck out of me, robbed me, pulled a knife on me.
We need to do a live stream of one of Angelo's shows. Are you going to
Angelo, we're going to do a 2-hour stream, but we only have 1 hour worth of info, so we're just going to say start over.
Hey, Angelo, how many shows are you into your tour? How many shows? And when do you feel you hit your stride in the tour?
Gabby, I don't know if I like Saturday at 5, so I might change that. I'm not sure.
Can we talk about me again for a minute?
I can't do a stream this Saturday. I'm not available.
Mazzy's having his tips frosted.
Here's today's favorite rave.
That's not your favorite rave. You talk about that album all the time.
Today, this is my favorite rave. I'm loving this record. I forgot that Vinnie Colaiuta plays drums on this. Wayne Shorter, Dave Holland.
Is Joni Mitchell on that album?
She does sing on one song. And I've been by amping, folks. And I fucked around this morning, and instead of using the 40-watt hard Harman Kardon Citation 5 tube amplifier. I'm using the 6-watt Deckware tube amplifier on the treble in the middle, and using the Macintosh 125-watt solid state unit on the bass, and it's so much fun. It really is. It sounds great.
And for all you equipment heads, I have two records.
And you should try to fart around with bi-amping if you can. It's fun.
Why don't you do a video about it and showing people how to do it?
It's a lot of work.
Okay. I have some records I want to show.
Okay, I'll be back.
You don't want to comment on it? I have to sit through all the garbage you show.
Yeah. Arnaldo, I think you're right. I'm going to think about that. So I'll be right back. I need to get something to drink here.
Yeah,
I'm listening. I'm listening, Rob. Don't worry. I'm listening.
Okay, I have the best record I found in a long time. I found an OG mono of Mingus Hum. And this is a specimen. Cover's in really nice condition. And then let me take the vinyl out. This is in excellent condition. And this mono, Deep Groove mono, sounds killer. Killer. This is like when you say, am I listening to mono? This is so good. I was found it for nothing. This is not for sale, Doss Rawson. Calm down. Can't there be stuff for me?
No.
Don't I deserve good stuff?
It'll be for sale eventually.
No, it won't. This is so good. This sounds insanely good. All right. Then when I found that, I found this. This is a cool record. So these were 6 compositions that were commissioned by the 1957 Brandeis University Festival of the Arts. And these are compositions. George Russell, Jimmy Giuffre, Harold Shapiro, Charles Mingus, Gunther Schuller, and Milton Babbitt. And it's the same musicians playing on it. It's none of them, but it's really good. And I've never seen this Adventures in Sound label, if anyone knows that, in Columbia. Really cool label. And it sounds nice. And then finally, I sold 2 REM Chronic Towns in the auction. I have 3 of the Gargoyle label original, and 2 of the covers have promo stamp on them. So I have 2 of those.
Very nice.
The harder to find original Gargoyle label of Chronic Town. And I think this sounds great. Now I don't have the the Gargoyle label was just the first pressing of the album. It was not a promo, even though 2 of these are promos. But the promos stamped are Monarch pressings of the album. So 1 is for me, 2 will be set free. No. Harry, you can go on eBay, and I saw at least 4 copies that were way under $100. I haven't put together yet to price them. You know what, Trevor? I specifically go looking for these. So every time I'm in the store, I go straight to the REM section, and if there's one there, I grab them. I'm going to sell 2 of these and keep 1 for myself. I think it depends on which version it is, but it's above $50. $50 to $100 is what that goes for. The Gargoyle label. The one I'm definitely selling is one of the labels on one side is bubbling up a little bit. Not horribly, but it's got bubbles to it.
How much do you want for the REM? Gargoyle's label REM. Arnaldo's asking.
Right. I just talked to him. Go back to sleep, Mazzy.
Oh, I was making my coffee.
Yeah, just because I didn't say Erykah Badu's name.
Sorry.
Look what I got.
Hey. Oh. Are those suppositories?
This is a whole new tube complement for my deckware. SE 341.5, the Rachel.
Ram didn't originally come out on mono, but it came out when the archives came out around 2012. They did a vinyl edition of it, and it was digitally in the archive, but it didn't come out at the time in 71. They weren't really doing mono. I'm surprised they even bothered because it wasn't a mono time.
Arnoldo, reach out to me privately, and I'll let the two I have. The one's bubbling up, and the other's a promo stamp. So I would sell the promo stamp one for more. The other one that's bubbling up is not a promo stamp. Oh, Trevor, if you want the Thimby, I'm gonna see which one I have better. I have a original one and a neon label that's minty. I'll decide which one I want to keep. The other one will be set free. That's my new phrase, set free. The mono is really good, but it is not as good as the stereo.
No, the stereo is better on that record. Yeah.
It's the novelty of having it.
Yeah, it was a promo mono. That's right. And that's really rare. I forgot about
the only one I looked up. The only one that's listed is it came out in Brazil as mono.
It's sent. I think it was sent to some radio stations, a few radio stations. It wasn't.
If you go look to Discogs, there's a Brazil version that claims to be.
Okay, mono. Russ. Yes.
Hold on, Russ.
Wow. So since we're a day late here, but I just wanted to. In fact, I'll show something.
Uh-oh. Erykah Badu, get out your bingo cards.
No. I was playing this yesterday. This came out 10 years ago, or 2016. This came out from a concert in 2014. There was a tribute concert for George Harrison at the Fonda Theater in Los Angeles.
I've been to the Fonda.
Yeah. A night to celebrate the music of George Harrison, George Fest.
When was that done?
The show was 2014, and then the record came out in 2016. It opens up with the introduction. It's got a great LA house band. I don't know all the people in it, but the first song, Old Brown Shoe, is sung by Conan O'Brien, Britt Daniel, I Me Mine, Danny Harrison and Jonathan Bates, Sir Frankie Crisp, Let It Roll, Something by Norah Jones, Brendan Flowers, Got My Mind Set on You, Heartless Bastards, If Not For You, Ian Astbury, Be Here Now, Wawa, Nick Valenci, Jamestown Revival, If I Needed Someone, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Art of Dying. Anyway, Annie Wilson does a great version of Beware of Darkness. Ben Harper does a great Give Me Love. Perry Farrell, Here Comes the Sun. What Is Life by Weird Al Yankovic, another Norah Jones. My Sweet Lord by Brian Wilson. Flamin' Lips, It's All Too Much. And they all close out with All Things Must Pass. And it's a triple fold. There's the poster for the show at the Fonda Theater. This is great. This is wonderful. It's good. I didn't know all the artists, and they had a great house band, obviously, doing it. But I don't think it's in print anymore. But you could probably get it. I don't think it's expensive, but excellent. Because yesterday was George Harrison's would have been his 83rd birthday.
Wow.
Did he leave? Question about him. Did he leave behind a bunch of music that hasn't been released?
There are some things. It's so weird because when that Scorsese documentary came out that he did, the George Harrison, HBO or whatever it was, I didn't love it because I think it didn't concentrate on enough of his solo work, But they put out a single LP of Outtakes Volume 1, and that was 20 years ago. They've never done a Volume 2. So
everyone's allowed to hate Patrick right now, okay? By the way, this Mingus mono that I found, $50.
Well, BMG put it out. Do you have it, Arnoldo? I didn't realize BMG put it out. Made in France.
I cannot juggle. I would not juggle 3 Zappa records.
So when's BMG and Sony, which is kind of the same, aren't they overlap? RCA, BMG. It's going to start their own audiophile label now that Universal and Warner with Rhino has their audiophile label.
But of course,
I think BMG and I think Sony Legacy. Legacy doesn't want to release the tape, so they got burned once, so they don't want to release the tapes. And up it, boys.
Okay, here's a good video. I give Mazzy video ideas occasionally.
Okay.
Here's your next video idea.
Rant.
No, the 10 Sony, what you would consider audiophile albums that should be reissued.
I did it with the Birds box. I did a whole Birds box.
And no one likes the Birds, so fuck them.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hey,
those Birds, Kimbo had 2 Birds mono, 2 eyes. And those went for like $40-50.
I found here's the problem. I find those, but they're trashed. I always find Birds
mono. I know. So if you find clean ones, they go for,
Okay, here's what Arnaldo, here's what I know, because Chad said this publicly. He's supposed to be doing a Concord thing. I think he says they're doing a Concord audio reissue thing. So I don't know who that's from.
Oh, Billy Idol's nominated too. I did get a gift. I was gifted something. Okay. This is
get out your bingo cards.
No, look at this. It's it's basically the uncut printing cover of the Johnny Cash of the whole. And it says thank you. But that's kind of nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Another thing roll up. See, there's actually 2 of them. One's signed and one's not signed. But that's kind of cool.
Well, just get the whole thing framed.
I have no place to put frame stuff anymore.
That's like getting a run of baseball cards in the.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool. Shane sent me that. I did a couple interviews I recorded with him. It is cool. I swear to God, you've seen in my videos, I got framed things up, and I have like photographs that my photographers have given me over the years. I have no room. It's like I need a gallery for this shit to have framed. And to get something framed like this, it's $500 now, easy. To get, if you frame things, don't use glass. I'll tell people this all the time. Use UV coated Plex. Because if it falls and it cuts your original artwork.
I have a
There's
gigantic.
No room, Gabby. I told you with the thing you gave me. I mean, I have some great art pieces.
Oh, sorry, Gabby. He ain't framing your picture.
I just have no room for anything.
Gabby, there's room to be a fan of me and just get rid of your fanship for Mazzy.
I could frame it and maybe it would be great if I framed it and Rob hung it right behind him every morning, my picture. Would you be upset, Gabby? Well, you'd see it every Tuesday and Thursday morning. I'm kidding.
Hey, Gabby, could you do a whole series?
I know. There's cheap frames. Even
Gabby,
IKEA.
Do a whole series of pictures of idiots from the VC. That's what you can call it.
Bill, yes.
We'll get a gallery and you can show all of them.
You want UV coated Plex because you don't want it's a protection because natural light or sunlight will fade artwork. Yeah. Easy, especially color artwork.
I mean, I have future plans to do lots of things, Fluffy. I'm just too lazy.
Yeah. Plex doesn't scratch if you're not scratching it. I mean, it's fine, but it's better than maybe I'm talking in California where there's earthquakes. Something falls down. If you have a rare piece of art and something happens to the glass and it cracks, it can scratch the artwork and it permanently damage the artwork. Plex won't do that. And you want UV coated that. So seriously, it's also lighter than glass.
Yes. Hey,
But
Gabby.
you want it matted. You want it. You want.
Gabby, can I commission you to do a drawing of Mazzy holding the Erykah Badu record?
I had this thing in glass at one time. Do you see the giant photograph of Disney behind me? I had that in glass, and when the glass fell out, it was not good.
It is a cool piece. No, I have an American Friend, the Wim Wenders film, a movie poster from American Friend. I showed it the other day, and I'd like to frame that, and it's one of my favorite films, and I just have no place for it.
It's my favorite shirt.
Patrick, I'm trying to frame Jim for a crime.
I have a Warner Brothers promo, Emmylou Harris, and a first album promo poster from '75, and a Warner Brothers poster of Lenny Bruce as a live show. I think it's at Berkeley, maybe. That a great poster of Lenny Bruce. I'd love to frame it, but I have no place for it.
I have my poster of my favorite.
Yeah, Josh Dillard knows. You want to do UV coded. You want to do archival, matte board. I mean, it can be very expensive.
Dillard, could you stop egging Mazzy on with this nonsense? I get it. UV special plastic.
Yes, you can buy cheap frames for artwork. You can buy IKEA has a good place to buy frames. It depends on the size of the artwork. If it fits in a certain size, at least get a matte cut to the right appropriate size. If you're matting something,
I have my poster that's autographed by the star and director, the stuntman. I have that hanging in here.
You want to hear a cool record? This is my next listen. This is a fun record.
Hold it up.
Black Dub, Daniel Lanois. Black Dub.
I need to get that. Everyone tells me.
Oh, so good.
What is that? Is that easily available?
I don't know. Came out in 2010.
Yeah, I think that's expensive.
Record. Fun record.
You can get a matte and frame for $30. Does it fit your artwork exactly? I mean, that's if it does, that's such a great deal, Dan.
Hey, this is my subject for the next live stream. You cannot steal it, Chance.
No, and I'm not getting it slabbed either, Chance.
Has Erykah Badu reached out, Mazzy?
No. What is on the docket tonight on Chance's live stream?
Have you been molested by your record collection?
Why did the FBI invade the president of the LA Unified School District's house?
Vinyl records, are they toxic to your health? I want Chance to say that.
It's the State of the Union coming out on the box
at him, like Geraldo.
I had my Zappa thing professionally done.
What do you guys think about pre-slabbing from the distributor? That would be like those mint baseball cards and coins. What do they call it? The coins used to come out.
It's a baseball card thing, a Pokemon card.
Okay, I did get that guy I know from Image did have this sent to me from Simon & Schuster, this Altamont graphic novel book. So I just got a text back from my friend. I haven't talked to him in a year. And he's the publisher. This is the same illustrator that does The Walking Dead.
So, are you going to do a video on it?
Hold on, guys.
I'll include it on something. Yeah.
Chance, are you being serious? This is a thing from companies. What is Alliance? What labels does Alliance own? I know they're the big distributor. Do they own a label?
Yeah, it used to be Simon & Schuster, but not anymore. I mean, yeah.
What I don't know what's what records are they selling?
Is that a real thing?
This isn't glass. This is like I'm cheap. It's a standard poster frame.
Ooh.
Well, like when I moved here, this is the third time in since 1967, I got these like matted and framed 3 times. Or if you look close, there's some aberrations because they're so old. I sent away for these from Look Magazine, $6.50. It also included the black poster, the long one, which I no longer have. But these were $6.50 for all of them.
When did you frame them?
this framing I did when I moved here in 2014, and at that time to frame all four was $1,200. So $300 a piece.
Yeah, that's framing stores are a racket, I think.
Well, they do artisan, they do it archival. So it's $300 each to mat it, the archival, UV Plex, the wooden frames. You can get metal frames cheap, you can get things, but they're archived now. But I always have to close this because I don't want direct sunlight in the afternoon on those because they haven't faded in almost 60 years.
Okay, we're thanks,
then,
Chance. We're doing this. We're making it happen.
We're doing artwork here. And then this is a print signed by Barry Feinstein, 12 out of 20 in edition. That's where we talk about limited editions. You know, there's not just 20 prints of this, but this edition, there's 20 prints. So it's multi-editions. He's dead now. Barry Feinstein took, all things this pass.
Thanks for the room tour, Mazzy.
Yeah. Herb Green took this. Ethan Russell took this. He signed it in 1968. John Lennon. So, and then the Jim Marshall one. This is Jim Marshall. He's signed and stamped. This is Coltrane. There we go. Okay.
All right. So this is what Chance told us about. This is Alliance's website. You can buy Slabbed. Own a piece of vinyl history.
Who is that? The Slabbing company?
This is Alliance, who's a big music distributor. Bing Crosby, David Bowie, you can get that slabbed for $600. Did they just arbitrarily put the price at this is worth $600?
Here's something worth $600. My God.
A Marillion picture disc is $600. Funkadelic. And that's the new reissue. How does that make that $600?
At those prices, that Michelle took those pictures for Tony Williams.
It's because they were graded by this company.
Can you bring that Tony Williams up? Yeah, Michelle took those pictures of Tony.
They're only 2, and they're number 2 out of 2.
Wow. For that price, I would support and buy some new artist work.
If the Erykah Badu album's on this page, I'm gonna shit twice and die.
There it is. Oh no, that's a great record. Songs in the Key of Life.
Well, there you go. I wonder how well they're gonna do with that. I don't know how they just $600 is the price point. They're not even $40 record, Mitch. You could probably get them on sale for $20. Like that Funkadelic, it's not even the 45 version. It's the regular stupid one.
It's not that Tony Williams is not worth that much, but that was a time where CDs were starting to come out. I think that's a DMM cut, that Tony Williams.
I think it's some money laundering scheme.
Yeah. Art, the price of art is whatever it's worth to you, unless a high end people
really
invest in it.
I've said this before and I'll keep saying it again. The price of a record, the value of a record, is what another person will pay for it. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think, the market goes up and down sometimes. Not, some records don't, but there are certain genres that get hot and they're not hot. They're hot.
Jeff, I don't agree with your comment. It's more a collectible situation. So it has nothing to do with the music. It's if you're a fan of these artists, you will get something that you can hang on the wall to show your fanship. But slabbing has very little to do with record collecting, if not nothing to do with it. Because, do you listen to a baseball card? Do you listen to a comic book? It's the fandom of collecting.
Who said
and it's Harry, a small part.
Put Harry's comment up. That makes sense.
You know, this is still, people get upset about it. It's still a small part. This is very small.
Like this gentleman is looking into the possibility of slapping his Beanie Babies. Like this is a good one. Perfect. Butcher cover, slab it. That would be what I would suggest.
Or just frame it yourself. Get it.
The slab would be worth more than my butcher.
You know, for a couple $100 or $100, or I mean, there are literally frames for album covers, so you could do that yourself. You know, you could buy pre-made.
Hey, two things. This dude slabs it when he watches the stream. Okay, getting back.
I remember the first time I slabbed it. I was so fucking scared.
Hey, you were alone. I know you were alone.
Hey, the 2 copies of Thumby I have, Trevor, sound excellent. It doesn't have to be an OG. The neon one sounds great too. All right, Rix. No one casually wants to see your browser history. No one. Not even highlighting your comment. Do you think if anything they're a butt of a joke?
All 3 big stars.
All 3 what?
Big stars.
Of what?
Oh, they've been reissued. And also, I think the Cramps. I just heard the Cramps are being reissued.
Doesn't Kraft have the big star? Omnivore has that big star 3. They can reissue that.
Who's reissuing the Cramps? Because 2 of them came out about 10 years ago, cut by Kevin Gray.
Is it Kraft or is it Org?
I don't know.
Kraft or Org?
Kevin Gray did 2 of the Cramps albums a decade ago.
I have a Caught by Bear joke, if anyone wants to hear it. Caught by a Bear.
Okay. Are you trying to lure people away from the stream, Brian? Is it UMG or is it Kraft?
Which one? Kraft is doing the Cramps?
It might be Universal. Let's see. Hold on. Cramps reissues.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm going to turn my stereo off right now. In preparation.
All right. Yeah, can you narrate everything you do from here on?
We'll walk over. It reminds me of the time that I walked over another time.
All right, can you stop narrating?
Which Cramps are there? Are they?
It's on You Discover.
So we don't know the DNA though. That's not part of the vinyl file, right?
Okay. No, these are newly reissues. Here's what it says. There's a hype sticker on this. I don't know what it's saying, but it's there. They have a campaign. They're reissuing their records.
So we don't know who cut them or anything.
It doesn't say in the description on You Discover.
Well, see, that's bad.
Well, they did the horrible jellyfishes that way, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, we know now they can do good work. So why don't they just continue to do good work, whether it's vinyl file? Rhino does it. Not everything is Rhino Hi-Fi, or they do the reserves now that are really nice.
Is this the reissue you're talking about, Birdie one? Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Harry.
That's what we're missing from this stream. Why?
Weed. That was good, Harry. Finally, Harry is a good joke. We're being nice to you, Harry. You can come up.
No.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Here, one. Trevor, do you want that Thimby record? Please.
We haven't got our jellyfish yet.
No,
Rob
mine comes today. I just got notification.
Mine was
But
delayed.
I have a picture to show.
Let
And
me
here's
see.
what I'd like to know. So I'm part of a jellyfish group on Facebook.
Of course you are.
Someone shared this picture.
I think Arnaldo got the jellyfish I saw.
A lot of people, you know who got a lot of people I never, like Felipe got it, and he told me it sounded good.
See, I think mine's delayed because of the weather.
Someone got a steam split on their jellyfish.
Yeah, you showed that. Yeah.
I sent it to you. I didn't show it here.
Well, okay, mine's stuck in
How does
Missouri.
it sound, Chance? How does it sound?
Mine's stuck in Missouri.
Yeah, whenever I get FedEx stuff now, it seems like it's slow or delayed, and then obviously it's met. No, it's for me, Russ. Go back to watching Dayton basketball. Dayton did. Hey, Chance. Them Dayton Flyers did one good thing. They beat St. Louis.
I've gotten, I think I have 5 or 6 vinyl files, and so far, the packaging hasn't been great, but I've had no dings or splits on mine.
Jason Faulkner's not on Spilled Milk though, but good try, Rich Muskelman's meat. I don't have any. Mazzy has gotten like 5 for free.
No, I haven't. I got 3 for free. 3 I bought.
How would you compare the vinyl file to the Rhino Hi-Fi?
Pressing wise, sound wise, as good depending on the record. Now, there's always that argument: Velvet Underground, it's not audiophile. It doesn't have to be audiophile. You want the best version of whatever the sound is, and I think that.
How are the covers?
They're great, but they're not the slick covers. They're matte, so they're heavy. They're matte, so it's kind of nice, refreshing that they're matte. They're easier to get the records in and out, unlike the Rhino Hi-Fis.
You know, if Jim was following my instructions to narrate what he was doing, he would go, "I'm playing with my balls."
So no, I was doing that was interpretive dance just now.
Here's the problem with the shipping from. It's not Universal, technically. It's this UDiscover company who does it all. And yes.
Yeah. It's the same with Rhino. They're hit and miss too with their shipping. You know, I mean, everybody's hit and miss. You know what's surprisingly good is I know people are going to scoff, but is the Frampton Comes Alive. Yeah, and it's a record. You can get a record cheap, but to get a good cheap, who knows when it was stamped off a stamper, those records, you know, so it was really good.
No, I cannot do that underwater. I can only do 3. I'm not very good. I used to be pretty good when I was a kid.
And when you say, "Oh, please," we don't know what "Oh, please" is regarding.
Yeah, again, there is a rule here. Every comment you give should live independently in the comment.
You know, it's not a
context.
In a big city, it's not a $10 record all day, Ricks. And the thing is, it's $10 record all day. If you even say that, if you get a good version of it, if it get one that's not fucked up cover wise and play wise, you know, you could say that about any reissue almost, except maybe not Jellyfish, obviously.
No, I'm going to tell you something, and I have experienced this. I do feel my sensibility is more like this comment, but there are reissues that stand above the $5 version you can find. There are versions that sound so good.
Are there?
You know, look, I mean, Rhino Hi-Fi did the Doobie Brothers and Van Morrison, and you know, you could say those are $10 records all day too, you know.
But Frampton Comes Alive was a popular album, right?
Well, which Coltrane box? The Coltrane box was
the live Coltrane box.
The live, okay.
And there's 2 more Coltrane boxes coming out this year.
Well, this is the centennial year of Coltrane and Miles Davis. You know, there are people that buy records that have nice stereos that don't want to go around looking. You know, you could buy a $10 or $15 record, and you might go through 2 or 3 copies of it to get a good one. So then you're spending $30 or $45 anyway.
Hey,
so some people just want the new one if it's good, and some of them, they're not all good.
hey, so I'm sorry to do this to you, Mr. Sticker Mania. This is why Mr. Sticker Mania is so good at acquiring things, because he threatens to hold his breath unless they give him what he wants.
Rick's, I don't think laziness is, but a lot of people don't want to go and dig and find that perfect record. Rob is good at that, but a lot of people.
My favorite thing to do is dig.
And you might get 2 or 3. I mean, that's the whole. Rob and I will maybe agree or disagree on the Tom. What's the guy that Tom Portman guy?
Yeah, that guy is the only thing he's figured out how to do.
You said it's clean records. I know.
It's clean records.
But he goes through 20 or 30 copies to find that one.
Well, okay.
Really good sounding one.
I'm going to tell you right now.
So he had to buy 20 or 30 copies.
In line with that is I talked last week about, I think it's right here. I talked about this particular record. I found, no, it's not. Oh, this one. Okay. So here I will say sort of like that. So I've had maybe 6 versions of this record. This 1973 reissue, replicating the original stereo label, sounds killer compared to the other versions I've had. This one distinctly sounds the best. So, yeah, maybe there's something to that. But Tom Port came up with a way of cleaning records really good. That's it. That's all he did. And then he's not better at me at screaming at people. Here, if this gets back to him, Mazzy, call your Batman hotline. Tom Port, you want to fight with someone online? I'm up for the challenge. This sounds good, though.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
I agree with that. I think it's stupid that he bashes like Kevin Gray and those people. I agree with that. But he's done the work, or he used to do the work. He's not doing it anymore, you know. I agree. I agree. He's totally slimy. But it's kind of like if you go out and have to buy 10 copies to get 1 or 2 that are really in good shape and sound good. I mean, you're paying for 10 copies to begin with. Even if you're paying $5 or $10 for those copies, you're paying $50 to $100 to get one good one to sell or to flip or to clean or whatever. It is a niche base. I mean, and he orders, and apparently I never bought one from him, but Jim sent me 2 records and we had a shootout, and I didn't think one was equal, and I just happened to have the same copy. Mine was as good. The Zappa record I had was as good as the one Jim sent me, exact same matrix. And the other one, I think mine, the Pink Floyd one, Metal.
I said Metal too, didn't I?
Pardon me?
Doesn't mean that they're the best record ever made. It just means they're the best out of that batch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I bet if I went to the Buc-ee's in Dayton and went to the back where the dumpsters are, all those University of Dayton kids would be there fishing through the trash.
You know, I'm not defending Portman, but the Flim Flam Man comment, first
His
of
name's
all.
not Portman.
Port, excuse me. He offers money back. You can get your money back, right, Jim? I mean, that's what it was. You could send, if you don't like it, you send it back. But apparently more people don't send it back. Maybe they're too rich and spend money, so they figure they want to keep it. And it could be delusional, maybe.
Here's a hot take. And, you know, for such a young guy, Michael, I'm really glad that you're keeping the phrase "you're on crack." You keep using it. It should stay in the vernacular. Vernacular?
If you think an original art farm worker is better than Bernie 45.
I wish. I bet you Tom Port would make so much more money if he just came out with his cleaning system.
I think you can still be on crack if you don't think that, Poetry.
You know, you're on crack.
Saying. You don't need to. No, I have, but I don't know. Tom, I got my first record from Tom Porter, and I said I could do that, and then I realized the amount of time and effort that goes into doing it.
Is that Tom Port?
No, it's his birthday today. First of all, I recognize the background. That is Herb Green's apartment in North Beach, where they photographed Surrealistic Pillow. This is Darby Slick, who was married to Grace and started the band, The Great Society, with Grace and his brother. Happy birthday, Darby Slick.
Yes. Whoever did that to your chin, I'm sorry. All right, everyone. I'm one of us doesn't want his crack. Who wants it?
The thing about $5 and $10 and $15 records, you go to a city like New York or Seattle or San Francisco. I don't know about it. LA might be different, but there's not a lot of the good records that are $5 or $10, at least the classic records. Now you can find some, you can be lucky, but it's a $1 record or a $5 record. It's not as easy anymore in big cities. They're like at Easy Street here, at Silver Platters. Even I think the best one is at the place where you were digging wax.
Yeah, that place cheap prices.
Yeah,
their records.
but the other stuff is still $15 to $25, and for normal record, there are some things that are $5 and $10 below.
Yeah, Jazzy, 5,000 records is a lot.
Okay, all right, Jeff, I'm going to tell you something. These 3 Blind Mice reissues, this record, killer. I opened this, listened to this last night. This thing slays. I'm not paying $200 for an original of this. I'm not. Paid $40 for this one. Or less.
And $40 is a lot for some people to pay for a record.
Yeah,
too.
but $200 for an original is a lot more. And I can't imagine the original sounds any better than this one.
I do know, Ricks, I do know that Al Cooper. It's a good album, but you're right. That's a $3 record. It's a cheap record because nobody really wants it. But it's a good record.
Let's be fair, Mazzy. Let's be fair.
There are certain records like that.
What's the likelihood you're going to find a clean copy of that record?
Probably more than some, because a lot of people didn't bother playing it to death. But you don't see it all around a lot, but because it wasn't a big hit, it bombed. I mean, I don't even see good copies of Super Session. Super Session, you know that album, Jim? That sold a lot of copies, but I don't see that used very often, and that's a 2i of that. Or a clean copy of that.
It wasn't like it didn't. Did it sell 1 million? And I don't know.
Let's look. How many copies did Super Session on Columbia sell in 1968 and beyond?
I don't know, Mazzy, but I'll meet you behind the McDonald's at 5 p.m.
Well, it peaked at number 12 on the Billboard chart. It sold 500,000 copies. That's good. It remained on the charts for 37 weeks on the Billboard charts.
It's not like Beatles but I'm sure those show up. I see them all the time.
Well, East West, I'm really curious because MoFi announced a 33 East West mono.
Hold on, I have to take care of some business. Listen, Roger, stick your thumb up your butt. I don't like being called Bob, Bobby, or anything with Bob in it.
Super Session's a killer record. The whole album is good. Yeah. The first, I agree. The first Blood, Sweat, and Tears is great. That sold okay, but not a lot. It didn't sell as much as Super Session, but it's a good record.
Hold on, Rex, you're confused a lot. People like Rob keep hiking the resale value. Rix, have you ever fucking bought a record from me? Have you?
You do.
Hold on. Rix, it's apparent you only like to hear yourself talk relative to you typing comments because you comment more than you listen. That's my opinion. So hold on. Here's the deal. I said this earlier, right, Mazzy? And I say it all the time. A record's only worth what someone wants to pay for it. That is my whole philosophy when it comes to records and their value. So if I reference what a record sold for, that's what someone's willing to pay for it. So what are you willing to pay for it? But you've never got a record from me. So keep my name out of your mouth.
You know, there are a lot of cheap records you can get, but they're usually titles that you haven't heard of. And there are a lot of great records you can get for $3 or $5, but they're not the quote ones you're looking for. If you take your chance for some of those $3 or $5 records, you're going to get some great music. So I will agree on that, but those records aren't getting reissued. They're not reissuing those early Al Cooper solo records. None of them are being reissued, as far as I know.
Yeah, but are they worth being? Or is there desirability for those records?
And reissued? No, there isn't. That's what I'm saying.
And here's what I'm going to tell you:
you can get cheap records, good. They aren't going to be reissued, so go buy those.
And here's what I'm going to tell you: there is a what would you call it, Mazzy? There are people that exist in our world that have the ability to take a seemingly rare old record and put some hype behind it like it becomes a thing.
Right.
And here's the thing. I've repeated this story. A record store owner who I like and tells me good things said, like Capitol, they didn't poke holes in records or cut them out. They took them back and destroyed them. Therefore, creating a perfect scenario for one of these records to become the it record and be rare and cost a lot of money. Okay? And liking a band is so relative because not everyone likes everything. Okay. So that being said, that, I don't feel like I overhype records I like a lot.
Well, I've hyped the guy John Simon several times on his first
record talk. Talk about fucking.
John Simon on Warner Brothers did 2 albums. He was a producer, did the band and other artists, Leonard Cohen, and his first album. Okay, I'm looking at it. $15.
Hey Jim.
Wait, $15.
How's it sound?
$6, $15, $65, $250, $9. It's cheap, and someone's trying to get $250 for it. It's not worth that. That's
look up what it's sold for. Don't look at that. Look at what it's sold for.
Oh, I know. But still, you can get it for $10, and it's a fucking great record. It's never going to be reissued. It's a great record. That and his album Journey. I mean, so there are records you can get that no one wants it. People don't even know they want it. I mean, these records were promoted early on those Warner Brothers Lost Leaders 2-first that came out.
Well, so this guy goes out hunting in the woods, and he's
no, we're not doing that today.
Never mind.
God, this is the worst show you've had, Rob.
Well, you've talked most of it, so. And I think we've escaped it. I think I might retitle the stream "An Erykah Badu Free Zone."
No, good. Okay, Birdie. Like those Al Cooper records, those are like $3 to $5 records. They're good records. I'd have to look in bins right now. I bet you I could go through a $5 bin and find good records that are good music. Never going to be reissued. People have heard of them or they haven't heard of them.
Abby, you talked about it.
I can't think right now. I'd have to look. Literally, I'd have to be looking through a bin right now. But you're not going to get. I don't think a good copy of Frampton Comes Alive is going to be at least $15 now. Probably in a city, maybe 20 even, because it's a double album. I mean, Rob picks cheap records up all the time for $3 to $5.
Right, and I tell you they're cheap heat. Like there's records you should
exactly.
Have. So
the early ones that aren't the ones with Mike Bloomfield, the one with his head on the woman's body and vice versa, that's a $5 record. Nobody wants that record.
No
And it's
one
actually
wants
not a bad record. The one with the Statue of Liberty, that's like a $5 record. It depends where you go, though. Some store will list it for $20. Yeah.
Where are you, Birdie? Birdie one.
Where do you live? Yeah, what area?
Birdie num num. Num num birdie num num. The party. Birdie num num. I agree. Birdie num num.
What else?
I mean, I see Al Cooper records and they're cheap.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one example. There are some, there's always stores that will put a high price on something. It's strange, it's strange that it's so high. I'm trying to think what bands.
Can I talk about matching impedances when you're bi-amping for a few minutes?
Well,
Rex, I'm going to stop highlighting you. I'm going to go back to Herc because you're almost the same person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've went over the time allotted for the stream. Apparently, people are bashing. This is one of the worst streams ever. I think we had a good one.
Hey,
bi-amping is illegal in several states.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone run out and get that comic book.
That was sent. I was wrong the other day. You have to disclose if something was sent to you.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not bragging. This stream today consistently had the higher number of people that watch.
And how many is that
throughout the stream?
How many?
We typically we're around 150 to 170. We were consistently over 170 for most of the stream.
Very nice.
So you're saying thank you to all the people out there.
Go see the Elvis movie. Go see the Elvis live movie. It's great.
Oh, today's Thursday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
I came here, Jim, to see you juggle and eat whatever shit was in that bowl.
That was yogurt and nuts. I got nuts on my mind.
Okay, bye everyone.
Yes, we had a death. Darby Slick died.
Happy trails.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's his birthday.
Oh, Nishkin Koyak. I don't know.
All right. Send your cards and letters to Mazzy. Bye.